In this video, we are going to go over how to use the product property of logarithms to simplify from two logarithms into just a single log. So the product property there is highlighted in yellow. It states that the log base b of m times n is equal to the log base b of m plus log base b of the n. So let's look at some examples and see how we can apply that to actual problems. In example 1 here, we have log base 4 of 3 plus log base 4 of 2. This matches this right side of our property. We have the log of the same base of two different things, and so we can use this property to combine it into a single log. When you're doing these, the first thing to make sure is your base on both of them the same? If it's not, you cannot use this property. So every time, first step, make sure your base is the same on both of those logs being added together. In this case it is, so we can combine it into one log of that same base. So log base 4 of, you're going to take this guy and multiply by that guy. So you're going to combine them using that product property. So we'd have a 3 times a 2. This step right here does need to be shown. That is showing me the process or where the final numbers came from. You can leave this like that, or if you wanted to, you could go ahead and multiply those two together. I'm not worried about the multiplying it together part because I want it to match this guy over here, which has an m times an n. So I would leave our answer just like this. Here is our final answer, our simplified version of log base 4 of 3 plus log base 4 of 2. Using the product property, it combines to be a log base 4 of 3 times 2. Let's look at another example. Here we have log base 12 of 7 plus log base 12 of 10. Is the base the same? Well, they're both 12, so my base is the same. I can combine these using the product property into the log base 12 of a 7 times a 10. Let's look at a third example. Here we have log base 3 of 27 plus a log base 4 of 16. Here's a 3, here's a 4. 3 does not equal 4, so we cannot use the product property. So there's nothing we can do to this problem. We can just move on once we identify that the base is not the same. In this case, the 3 and the 4 are not the same, so we cannot use our product property. Let's look at another example. Here we have log 3 plus log 10. There is no base listed. So is it the same? Well, when there's no base listed, it is always going to be a 10. That is your normal log. So a log base 10, if there's no log, no subscript listed there, it is a 10. So now we have a 10 and a 10. They are the same, so we can combine into one log. It would be base 10. We typically would not write that, but I'll write it for this purpose here. Of our 3 times the 7. You would generally see that wrote as log 3 times 7 because we won't write the 10. Anytime our base is 10, we won't write the 10. It would just stay just a straight log. Let's look at another example. Here we have log base 7 of 21 plus log base 7 of 2. So is the base the same? Yes, they're both 7s, so we can combine this into one log. Log base 7 of the 21 times the 2. And that would be our simplified answer. Let's look at another example. Here we have a log base 3 of x plus log base 3 of y. Now we now have variables instead of just numbers. The process does not change. We still need to make sure that the base is the same. In our case here, it is a 3 on both of them, so it is the same. We can combine into 1 log base 3 of x times y. In this example, we have a log base 11 of 121 plus a log base 11 of x. Check to make sure your bases are the same. They are both 11, so they're the same. We can combine this into 1 log base 11 of our 121 times the x. In this example, we have a log base 17 of w plus a log base 17 of z. Check to make sure that your base is the same. In this case, it is 17 in both, so it is the same. We can combine these two logs using the product property into 1 log base 17 of w times z. And that would be our final answer. Let's look at another example. Here in example 9, we have log base 5 of p plus log base 5 of c. Check to see if your base is the same. It is. They're both 5, so we can use the product property to combine this into a single log base 5 of p times c. And that would be our final answer. Let's look at one last example. Here we have log base 329 of q plus log base 329 of x. Again, our first step is to check and make sure that our base is the same. In this problem, it is. They're both 329, so we can use the product property to combine this into a single log base 329 of the q times the x, and that would be our final answer.